A great shot from the Budweiser blimp. Commercial transportation for this broadcast has been provided by Ryder, the official transportation company of Opryland. What a magnificent shot and a great day for the Bud blimp. Let's take a look at round number 2 activity in the funny cars. It would be the In-N-Out Burger car. That's Mark Oswald. Started winning back in the early 1980s in dragsters. Tom Hoover and the Pioneer Art of Entertainment machine over there on the far side of the racetrack. Two guys really hungry for a win. You saw earlier what happened to Hoover right here at this racetrack last year when he flipped the body off the race car. He ran very well at Pomona, struggled at Phoenix, running well here. Let's see if he can run into round number 3. Nope. Stayed right with him most of the way and then gets punched out right at the very top end of the quarter mile. Oswald goes to the semis.
I know from personal experience that a round win against John Force can sometimes be more satisfying than winning the entire national event. Dean Scusa and team are still thinking about that final round loss in Phoenix against John Force, and you can bet they're going to try to not make the same mistake twice. Austin Coyle once told me, on any given day, I'd rather race any other crew chief than Ronnie Swearingen. Ronnie has this Matco team running very consistently. Let's see what they're going to do this round.
That's funny, KC, because Austin Coyle once told me on any given day, I better stay out of his way. He's busy. They got work to do. The Matco Tools machine against the Castrol GTX. John Force, who's been the dominant car, hasn't lost since Dallas of '96. Punched out Scusa out in Phoenix. Watch this. Whoa, Force has trouble. Dean Scusa gets the win as he takes care of John Force. 504, 307 miles an hour. That was so sweet, especially if you're a Scusa fan. We'll look at it again. The man that has won and been more dominant than the 1950 Yankees, more dominant than Steve Kinzer, more dominant than pro stock racer Joe Sway. All right, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Watch this. Forrest popping and banging right out of the starting gate. He's got lots of smoke. He doesn't have enough fire, and Scusa gets the winner. Now watch this. Excuse me, drivers, please do not walk on the roof of your cars. Please stay on the pavement.
Well, I just owe that all to my crew chiefs and my team because I think they've had a lot of sleepless nights with that guy winning all the time, you know?
Oh, that's so cool. It's the Kendall Super Winch car in the far lane. That's little Chucky Angels. This is Al Hoffman, who vows to take that championship away from John Force. Hoffman out of Florida. The Kendall GT1 car. You see the fingers on the side. He wants to win round 2. So this means round 2. But look at Al Hoffman. Gets the win in fine fashion. He is on fire. Figuratively, not literally. 496 at 310.
Poor old orphan Al. Best he can muster is 496 at 310.
What a pig. we're excited. This thing's doing exactly what we wanted to. I may not have a major sponsor right now, but we're working towards it. And with Pontiac behind us, I mean, we got the fastest hot rod out here right now, and I think you're going to see some big speed out of this car if we can get a little cool air later.
Man, I thought Selzy was having a bad hair day. Al, get a hat. Here's the NEC team car again. Well, they had one problem. They solved that. It's Tony Pedregon in the first round. Hey, give us the #1 qualifier. We'll show you how tough the NEC guys can be. We can solve this Pedregon too. At least they think they can. And I think they can. Gary Densham gets the win. NEC goes to round THREE. Great run, Gary. Take a look at this again, and Gary Densham right out of the starting gate, and the Mickey D's car was down a car length and never caught up.
Gary has had 2 squeakers, and that time you beat him with old age and treachery on a whole shot.
Did we? Oh, that's great, Steve. I was so late first round. Tony almost nailed me. I had to get back at his brother. I guess that's the way he had to go.
There's Gary Densham, who's never had a bad hair day in his life, but then there's an obvious reason for that. Well, let's take a look at the semis. It's Densham and Oswald. Densham's the one with the hat on. They haven't met in the last couple of years. They also haven't been this successful in the last couple. And it's going to be Al Hoffman against the kid, Dean Scusa. The word of the day is, well, for right now, it's Casey Spurlock in the pit area.
I'm standing in a very quiet and empty McDonald's funny car pit area. Why? Because Cruz Pedregon just lost on a hole shot to Gary Densham. Now, if you're a professional and a competitive race car driver like Cruz Pedregon, what do you do to get over this and go on to the next race? You do exactly that. You go on to the next race. You put this behind you and know that this is just a non-typical situation. You can't dwell on it. You can't make too much out of it. Put it in the back of your mind and wait till the next race.
These fans are really enjoying one of the best Mac Tools Gatornationals ever was, and I hope you're enjoying it right here on TNN. We got live racing activity coming up. We're going to take a look at more action. Get set up for all those finals. Please don't go away. Look at that. Now, if you look right behind that guy, that's where I'm sitting. I got the little camera there. That's the Bob Fry cam. We're looking out of the Budweiser blimp right down at the Mac Tools Gatornationals here at Gainesville Raceway. Guess the camera can't swing around and get me, huh? Can we see that from another angle? Oh, there I am. See? I'm waving at you. Go with me on this, gang. Hey, let's take a look at what's going on in Pro Stock activity. Steve's talking about those engine boys.
As we head into round 2 of Pro Stock, let's check out the Engine Builders scoreboard. There are 8 cars with engines out of 6 different shops. First of all, of course, there is WJ. He has 2 motors still in the field, his own and his son Kurt's. Then there is 2 Steve Schmidt motors, one in Steve's car and one for Ray Franks. The Dodge, of course, for Dale Alderman, built by Dale Ike. Then there is Mike Edwards with the Larry Morgan power plant. There's Jim Yates. It's kind of confusing. They're getting a divorce. It's still a Maskin motor, but maintained now by Bob Ingalls. Then there is Mark Powick, who has his own engine program. All in all, there's a whole bunch of iron from a whole lot of different mines.
Can't tell the players without a program. Hey, program, get your program. Here's a couple of Pontiacs on the starting line. It's Mike Edwards. It's Steve Schmidt. Mike's in the near lane. Steve, therefore, by process of eliminations, better be in the other lane, or we're in big trouble. Red light on the far side of the racetrack, and red light means good night, Steve Schmidt. This would be KJ against Ray Franks. KJ in the AC Delco machine went to the championship round out in Pomona, got punched out by his dad. Headlines read Warren Johnson beat son. Figuratively, not literally. Ray Franks joined the Holly 6-second club here on the near side of the racetrack. NWJ's kid hoping to advance, march on and meet the old man. I mean, his father in the finals. That's like a blowout Pro Stock, a car length at the top end of the racetrack. KJ gets the win and gets to talk to Steve Evans.
Kurt, is a 7-flat good right now or just okay?
Actually, she was pretty loose out in the middle of the track, and I thought we were going to rub the AC Delco right off the side of this door here. You know, that pull down by force didn't really help us. We're just glad to win this round, though. Hopefully we can get this thing in a final.
Coming up in the second round of Pro Stock action today, we have what could turn into a big battle, a battle of the brands. The Chrysler of Darrell Alderman and the Pontiac of Warren Johnson. Now, Warren Johnson beat Darrell here in 1994. Darrell bounced back and won in 95, and of course did not compete in 96. And while WJ is making a lot of horsepower this weekend, this Mopar team is on quite a resurgence. If WJ does get by Darrell, it's not going to be a cakewalk.
A cakewalk. There's another one of those Spurlock terms. Here's the Mopar machine in the near lane. His teammate, by the way, Scott Jeffrey, missed the field by 100. Oh, it's just like old times. Come on, boys, don't stage. Take your time. Ah, you missed those good old Mopar Warren Johnson matchups, don't you? Darrell goes in stages. WJ, and the lights come down. They're off. You're on board with Darrell Alderman. I can't see him. I can't see him. That's because he's so far out in front of you, Darrell. Hey, KJ and WJ both advanced to the next round.
A 697 on a fairly greasy racetrack now.
Steve, it's really loose out there. In fact, when I got to the lights, it started sliding around and coming around on me. I thought it was in a dirt track car for a while. But it's main thing is we won. That's the important thing. This point situation is going to go right down to the wire, and it's not going to just be Yates and myself. I guarantee there's going to be some other cars in this mix.
Yep, there's some new players.
Hey, Warren Johnson having a gray hair day. It's the Summit car. There he is back again on the far side. M on the side does not stand for Maskin anymore. It stands for McDonald's. As Jim Yates looking to pick up his second consecutive Pro Stock title here at the Mac Tools Gatornationals and on the Winston Points Trail. Mark Powick out of the starting gate. He's had his best start in quite some time. Not going to continue, is it? Nope. Jim Yates gets the win, and you got it. He gets to talk to Steve.
Well, Jim, both Johnson said the racetrack is treacherous right now.
You know, it's a little loose out there. We watched them go down. They were moving around real bad down through the middle, so the crew put the wing up a click or two, and I think that really helped us get through there. How did we run a...
696, you got lane choice.
Whew, that's great. We need that. We need
everything you can get.
Hey, Jim, you're number one. Oh, I'm sorry. He's still number one. Boy, am I in big trouble now. All right, semifinals. W.J. and Yates doesn't get any better than this, folks, in pro stock. Hey, that's worth the price of admission. Oh, we didn't charge you anything, did we? KJ and Edwards met one time. KJ got the win. Edwards hopes to even up the score. Steve?
Fry, you're like listening to a comedy album today. You know, it's been almost 3 years since Speed Pro put up $25,000 for the first Pro Stock 200-mile-an-hour run. And Friday, I think the win cost Warren Johnson all that cash. Yesterday, I think the heat and humidity cost you all that cash. What about today, you or somebody else?
Well, it's possible today. The weather's about the same as we had on Friday. The track is getting a little greasy out there right now, so we don't really know, but we should be in the 190, high 198, 199 mile-an-hour range, and it doesn't take much to trip it over into 200.
No, it doesn't, especially if it cools off as it usually does for the final round.
Warren Johnson, and once again on Bud 1 Airship. I can't believe they can't get a shot of me in that thing. We got semifinals coming up, but did you know? I said, did you know? Maybe you didn't know. There we go. It's one of those tech pieces. They figured I wouldn't be able to help you out anyway on this thing. That's very interesting. I didn't know that.